Welcome to Random Speak presents
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what you think.
My name is Aaquib Jaleel.
And I'm Mr. Kev.
I am a stand-up comedian.
And I am a porn star.
We go with this now.
Yeah.
We are sad about it, but we go with this now.
No, why? What's that to sad?
No, it's okay.
Introducing a guest that just barged in. Tej. You want to introduce yourself, Tej?
I'm Tej. And I don't have a new introduction. I still live in Bangalore.
After 10 takes, the best she could come up with.
I live in Bangalore.
I live in Bangalore.
Aaquib,
Yes.
before we start.
We need to do the disclaimer.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, go.
Disclaimer. Hey, disclaimer. Hey, mama. Disclaimer, mama.
Yeah. Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
Mama, disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
So today, guys, what are we talking about, Aaquib?
I've been a comedian for the last 4 years. What I've realized over a period of time is that a lot of people get flack for what they say, especially on stage. And for me, that's becoming an issue, right? Now, I want to know specifically as to why it's wrong.
It's not wrong. Let's start with using better words.
Okay, how would you frame that
For
sentence?
instance, if you say something that is causing... So now you're saying it's becoming an issue for you because people are saying what you are saying is making us uncomfortable.
It's not just about me. That I'm fine with. I'm okay with instant feedback. As in when the
Obviously,
crowd,
nobody's going to stop a set and be like feedback.
which has happened multiple times.
Maybe it touched a raw nerve.
It touched a really weird nerve because
The nerve exists. You can't be like, that's a weird nerve.
It's
Not
a
all
weird-
of us
I'll tell
came
you
with
why.
that
Wait,
nerve.
I wanna-
That's you problem.
No.
You came with a weird nerve. That's your manufacturing defect. Go to the nerve doctor.
No, but it was weird for me. Okay, I'll just give you some context for that. Okay, so for example, as a Muslim, I'm not very good practicing Muslim. Okay, and I tend to do a lot of jokes about Muslim, which technically runs on the stereotypes of like what exists right now. And the reason that I do that is to say that it's okay to laugh about them. I'm not trying to enforce the stereotype. I want to be like, as a Muslim, I'm able to say it, and hence when you hear it, you can be like, okay, it's a joke. It's meant for that, right? Now, I'll tell you the
What are
biggest-
jokes meant for?
For me, it's to incite laughter and like
So
to
what
not.
is laughter at the end of the day?
Laughter is a reaction to something that's been said, or something that's been done.
Anything happens, you might choose to react.
Yeah, like, have you not laughed at your-
Laugh, react.
No, I've not laughed at like
It's
a
like
graveyard.
What reaction? Mad react. You're just the like. You're the hard react. What?
Yeah, it is a reaction. What else is the laughter?
Laughter is, okay, so for me, laughter is a form of play. When someone is saying something to you that is making you find the kind of lightness in it. And not necessarily joy. You don't laugh out of joy. You laugh at something because it's light. And you say there are really dark jokes, but when said in a certain way, you're laughing at the absurdness of it. Yeah? So it's a coping mechanism.
True.
It's a way that you, just like any situation can happen, and people don't necessarily choose, they're conditioned to respond in different ways. Some people might respond with rage. Other people, that's why comedy is also a platform for you to be for you to make certain statements. Somebody had posted this recently, and Sudarshana had posted it, and she had talked about how stories have a way of getting across a message without getting people fighting with each other. So you make a point, but since you're telling it as a story, you're telling it from the start to end, and saying, before he became this, before this boy became this, he started off as this, or before this person became this, he started off as this. And therefore you know the whole backstory. And when someone's telling a story, you don't interrupt. You're just reading a book. You don't interrupt the book and be like, what? You don't.
Why is it this way? Oh,
yeah. You. That's right. That's why the rest of the book is. Right?
So I'll interject over here, trying to encapsulate what you're saying. It's a way of describing something in a light-hearted manner, right? In case of the situations that we are trying to bring up right now, you get a very short time. Sometimes in some cases,
4 minutes, 3 minutes.
So
that's where you draw the line between teasing and bullying, right? But teasing is when you tease someone, and that person still has a stake in it, a say in it, because they are also playing along. So you tease me and you're like, for instance, I had curly hair. I still do, but it's short now. But when in school, everybody used to call me Maggie.
I call you Maggie. It's same as Maggie for me.
You were calling me Maggie, and I don't think I had a problem with it. Now, if I were bullied, let's for instance, I was targeted and there was some negative connotation to it. Or if I say, no, don't call me Maggie and continue calling me Maggie, that's bullying. But if I just laugh it off or I just roll my eyes and I'm just like, whatever, I get called Maggie because my hair is curly and it doesn't make a difference to me. That is teasing. That's lightheartedness. It has to be a two-way street. There has to be consent. And if someone's saying, at this point, I'm drawing the line. This is not funny to me anymore. This feels targeting, like it's targeting me. I think that's the moment any comedian or whoever, or any artist of any kind, performing artist, or whoever's putting their word out there, or any art out there, you need to stop and reflect. Be like, oh my God, someone's hurt. Is that what I want to do?
But
I want to get them to laugh.
I get that. Now, see, a lot of times whenever I've done a Muslim joke, and my jokes usually are very, it's very personal to who I am. I have this joke about marriage where I say that I was seeing someone, and at the end, one lady came up to me. She doesn't know who I am. She understood. She says she understands my context, but all she said was, "Oh, why would you joke about that? How can you joke about that?" And that I was just like,
why did it upset her?
It upset her because she is saying that it puts up a negative approach towards Muslims, is what she told me. But in reality, when I kept talking about the joke, I keep mentioning it as it's not a negative association that I'm presenting.
No, so did you clarify to her that you are Muslim?
I did. That's you know what I do when I get up and say first thing? I'm like, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I don't know what that means also anymore. But I say it, I make sure that I set up myself as I'm this Muslim.
So
and I have jokes
there are
about
certain people who are a bit, I don't exactly know why it upset her in particular. That's one. And secondly, that's another thing that I've learned over a period of few years reading about, what makes up the subcontinent of India, the kind of people, that population that makes up this part of the world, right? There are so many different kinds of people, and even within Muslims, it's not just you're a Muslim. Again, there is in some places there are other Shia, Ahmadiyya. Like for instance, the Ahmadiyya Muslims are still targeted in Pakistan, whereas people here are just like, but Muslims go to Pakistan, duh.
No, you know the best part is that's exactly how I hear it in my head.
And I'm just like, bro, like, where do I begin, right?
No, but if you're putting it in the context, because at the end of the day, even jokes are stories, okay?
Yeah.
And the idea that you can't present it even with what your truth is. Because that's what, end of the day, I don't think a stand-up comedian ever comes in and tries to lie his way out of anything.
So that's fine. So don't see it as where it becomes unacceptable. Your joke didn't get a laugh, it didn't land.
It's not, I'm even okay with that.
Yeah.
Because at this point of
I'm seeing it just like that, your joke didn't land.
That's completely fine.
Yeah.
My main issue is when people come up and start saying like, hey, you should stop saying that kind of joke. So you should stop doing
Obviously, we
that
all get told that. We are all censored sometimes by certain people.
My issue is that now that's
what's
becoming bigger. That's always, but the problem is that's becoming more and more prevalent.
Yeah, we all see that. We are not allowed to say so many things. For instance, in 2018, so many people were just reading certain books. They were reported as urban Naxals, which is and they were arrested, and which is such a disservice to what do you call those knowledge bodies or the terms. For instance, who are Naxals?
That's like reading Mein Kampf and being called on Nazi for
exactly.
Yeah.
So one example that I've recently come across was Gilbert Gottfried. I don't know if you know this.
I can't remember names.
Gilbert Gottfried was he's a movie actor, but he's a stand-up comedian first, and he was part of this big time TV group called VOCE. It's another TV channel in America. The tsunami had hit Japan during this time, and the joke that he states is Japanese people are very advanced because they don't go to the beach comes to them. This is the joke he stated.
Was he in Japan when the tsunami hit?
No, this was in America, and that's all that happened. He got fired. He lost.
I see why.
He lost his livelihood there.
I see why.
But why though?
Okay, so a tsunami is a lot of trauma. I don't know if you were here in Chennai when the tsunami came.
Yes.
I don't know if you were traumatized by it, but a lot of people were. They didn't know where their children were. Their children were in school. Some of them had been retired. Some of them were in Sri Lanka, lost their lives. We recently actually said, we published a piece where a woman who had survived the tsunami in Thailand is writing about how a lot of her PTSD because of surviving that incident came up in her therapy. Like, she felt really weird in close spaces, things like that. If she were to make a joke, then that's her coping mechanism, knowing her background. But if someone who's not survived it makes a joke like this, that just becomes insensitive. For instance, this morning or yesterday, I saw someone say that someone was roasting the Sri Lankan bowlers, and they said that they are so bad at catching that if I send them to Wuhan, they wouldn't be able to catch coronavirus.
Where's Wuhan?
Wuhan is which is considered the epicenter of coronavirus outbreak. It's really not. Viral outbreaks and things like that, where you're losing people, there's grief, there's death, there's survivor's guilt. There are so many of these complex, unresolved emotions which are not exactly resolved, because after the tsunami strikes, it's not like, okay, now this community is going to sit and mourn and grieve and rebuild. 20 days later, you're all back to work again. You're still on the rat race. You're still the hamster on the wheel. You're still like, oh, where is our economy growing?
I understand the insensitivity, right? Why is it not a good idea to think of a joke and then trying it, and then if at all...
the instant feedback that gives you...
I think it would be a good joke if you spoke from your lived experience. Because all oppression is
No, but
there is some way in which you're being targeted.
There's a big problem with this, which is the fact that your lived experience, if you've done comedy for long enough, as long as a lot of these comics have also, I see it as, okay, you don't have experiences anymore. You have, even if it's a lived experience, even if you have a very beautiful life and all of that, jokes don't always come that way. Sometimes it's just from observing,
that
sometimes
happens,
it comes from...
Of course.
It comes from observation.
So there are other ways to get a joke out, You kind of get some people to say it themselves, for instance. Where, there are other formats of comedy that you can explore. Sometimes stand-up comedy where you are the subject. No, you are the object. And the subject is outside of you. And you're making jokes about it. That's not the only format. You have to push that boundary and be like, now how can I make this joke come out by involving another person?
No, I get that. I get there are different kinds of formats.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that a lot of times it can also be about observation, and having the ability to say those observations is key for a comedian to grow.
Then maybe you have to put it in a certain way, of course. I'm not here to be like, oh, that joke can be rewritten like this. I'm not a comedian. I've never gone on stage and delivered such. So I'm not here to tell you what will make it work. That is your technique as a comedian, as someone in this profession. I think it is part of your trajectory where you have to figure out how to navigate these things.
So here's where go on.
This is where my whole thing is. I am that joke which didn't land. Now I have a better idea of that joke.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But now it becomes I'm scared to say certain things because I'm afraid okay, I've thought this. I think it's funny in my head, and I want to present it on stage. The minute I get instant feedback, I know, okay, this joke didn't work. I will try another one, and I will try another one. That's how you learn, right?
Yeah, or a different rendition of the same.
And I'll be very honest with you. Specifically, right now, at least in the comedy circuit in and around India, a lot of people have either are not being allowed to do stand-up simply because they were at an open mic and they're new comics, and they were like, hey, I think this is funny. Maybe I didn't remember, maybe I didn't think of the context then. But once I've told it, when feedback is given, you learn, right? And you need to keep doing that over and over.
That's the thing for comics as well, right? You bomb on stage at least several times, and then you get to build
your 30 minutes comes from at least 2 years of you just.
That's why we have open mics, right?
Yeah, but
sometimes you have open mics just to test a new set. You don't know. It's not like you're all machines of humor. You're not human machines. You're like, okay, I write a set and I don't know if this is gonna work. So you do it at an open mic, which is a safe place. When nobody laughs, nobody's under the pressure to laugh as well at an open mic.
That's the whole point.
That's the whole point. So nobody's under pressure. You test, and then when it doesn't work, you're like, okay, I guess it's a bad joke. I'm not gonna use it at my set where people are paying me to perform.
But here the question comes, because since there are a lot of eyes, there are a lot of ears listening to you, and because you tested out something like this, you come under fire because you tested out something like that. That's been happening in the comedy circle. This is what we are
So I
trying
guess
to
we have to handle it. Because as artists, we are putting our work out there, not just to be like, you all just take it and worship my art. You know, we all want meaningful interaction. I'm sharing a part of my experience in whatever way I know. That might be as music, as a painting, or even an Instagram post, or a tweet, or a comedy routine. And I'm putting it out there. And sometimes, my perception of the world is not well received. Other people are like, no, it's not our art. And then how you choose to navigate. You're like, that's when you choose to listen. It's not, the artist cannot always perform. That's an experience that the artist has to learn about art.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Welcome to Random as Fleek. If you're watching this, you're probably at the end of this episode. If you like this episode, please go hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and also share this video. It helps us out a lot. And the second part of this particular video is going to come out in the next week, so please keep watching. Let us know in the comment section below what you think. Just like our favorite person in this world, Pursuit of Perfection, you've been very sweet. I speak on behalf of Aaquib as well. You are the only person who probably follows us on every single video other than me and Aaquib. Please help us out by sharing the video, liking, and obviously letting us know what you think, because that helps us progress and evolve as Random as Fleek as you guys develop us over a period of time. We also have an Instagram channel, by the way. It's just called Random as Fleek, where we have other random stuff happening over there other than this particular podcast. So go and subscribe to Random as Fleek on Instagram. It's going to be amazing. We have some killer content for you guys, so go check it out. This is a bye-bye from me and my team, as well as Stage. Thank you guys for watching, tuning in. It means a lot to us. Thank you. Bye-bye.